There we go.
Hey guys, thanks for. I had for my team, but I thought it's always good to have the more people on, the better, because I have some awesome stuff to share with you guys. So I hope you have a paper and a pen. So I know my team I had asked them if they had any ideas, what they wanted me to talk about. I know I have quite a few newbies on my team, so I'm going to just cover a few back to basics they asked for. I know not all of you are new, but I'm just going to, in the beginning, go over a few things. Very, I guess, I don't know, I'm like details person, so I'll try not to get too detailed. But I'll just start with talking about, for my newbies, just the team pages and chats, what they're for. I have something that I want to share about host to post, something that's changed for me, just a new way of doing it for me that's been working. I'm going to go over cold messaging versus building relationships with people, a way of adding friends on Facebook and Instagram. I'll go over a little bit about events, reaching out and messaging others, and then at the end, I have some good tips for time management that have helped me lately too. So first, just quickly, I know most of you know this stuff too, but for my newbies, I know Amelia and stuff are asking. So the team pages that we have, there's the Black Diamonds. The 1 week training is different from the Black Diamonds in Training page. The 1 week training is for when you sign up new distributors. They have some modules they can go over, just some simple, I don't know, just stuff in the information for you to learn just to get you going. And then once they've completed, there's what, 3 modules I think in there. They're not very long to go through. Then we add them into the training page, and the Black Diamonds in Training page is just like all of the everything that's going on. Tennis always posts about the events and everything that's happening, just for us all to stay plugged in and connected and just know what's happening. So we all can just use all of the resources that we have to learn and to, just use them to help us build in our business. There's the Diamonds Baby page that's for posts, pictures and stuff to help you if you wanted to, I don't know, post about the products and stuff like that. There's always pictures available there too. The Facebook chats, I know there can be lots. I know Tan has told me in the beginning, and I often tell my team members too, to try and you can shut your notifications off, because there's always going to be messages going through there, but just check them, because they're a great way if you text me or you text someone and we might not get back to you right away. If you post a question that you have on the team, or usually someone's available and they'll get back to you fairly quickly. So that's just about the chat, super quick. So I'll jump into how to grow your network. I came across this way to add friends on Facebook. I've been trying to kind of do it on Instagram too. But so I read that if you just type in someone random's name on your Facebook, and then you search them, and then you go through their friends list and you add like 10 friends. So you click add, and then you get to the 11th, you click on that person's name, and then you add that way too. So that's just like a quick way. I read that, I don't know, you can do this if you want. I was always told to kind of, obviously you want to check their profile to make sure they're not always already distributors for whatever company. What I read was that you can just add, don't necessarily look at their profile picture and like obviously choose who you would want to add. And then when you see their posts, you can kind of see who they are. If they are other distributors, then you can remove them. It also says not to add from your suggested friends list, because they're most likely going to be distributors, and I've noticed that too. When I look at my suggested friends, they're all distributors or like some kind of company, whether it's Arbonne or whatever. I don't know why. I don't know why that happens. But so yeah, don't go from your suggested friends list. Go from like friends that you already have, and then you can click on their friends list and go through them too. And you can add quite a bit. I know that I read that you can have 1,000 pending sent friend requests at once. And the thing that I read said like she'll like once a week she'll go on like a adding frenzy, I don't know, and just add and add and add. And then the next morning she could wake up with like a couple hundred new friends. So, but I don't think you can do that like every day. You could do that, I don't know. She says she does it like once a week. I've added quite a few, and then I'll get a little messages saying, make sure to only add your friends or whatever. So when I get that message, I tend to kind of just stop, because I haven't been blocked out of Facebook yet, but I've heard that that actually happens. Has that happened to any of you guys? Yeah, when you're adding and adding quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want that to happen. I feel like I'd freak out if that would happen. So I'm kind of careful, but I think you can go every now and then. And yes, Facebook jail, that's what. And what, do they lock you out for like 2 days or like 1 day or two? I don't know. That would just be so awful. So just be careful when you're adding. If it's like giving you warnings, please add only your friends. I think that's why you also want to make sure that there's at least like one mutual friend. A repeat offender, that's funny. If you at least if you have at least one mutual friend, I don't think it'll be so I don't know, sticky with it. So that's one strategy, just to add, because I know sometimes it can take a long time for me if I'm like trying to add to my network, and if you're going through all the profiles and stuff, it can take time. But another thing I want to say about that is make sure, actually no, I'm going to cover that when I go over messaging. Okay, so that's what I have to say about growing your network, and I think you can kind of do that on Instagram too. Like you can search somebody, and then you can see who they're following, and you can add that way too. I don't know if Instagram is as sticky about adding a lot of people or not. Can we be blocked out of Instagram too? Is that a thing? Yeah, okay. So see, Nahani, I look at her because she always knows the answer to everything. I asked her, like, you're like the It Works encyclopedia. She just knows it all. Okay, so that's it about growing your network. Is there any questions about that? She is brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that, Elizabeth, when I go over the cold messaging versus building relationship thing, but I can just touch on it quickly right now. Okay, so cold messaging is I think if you like add a friend and they accept your friend request and you message them within like 5 minutes, I don't know, I'm not huge on doing that. Maybe it's because I'm still kind of new and that scares me to like cold message, but it's something I probably should work on. But I tend to let them watch my page, and I start off more by interacting with their posts. So I'll comment or like on their posts and stuff. That's how I kind of start that. And then I'd be more confident to send them a message in their inbox after that. Because you add them, but like they're not going to necessarily add you back right away or at all. Another tip is to go back in your in your requests, I guess, and then if people aren't, because not everyone's going to accept your friend request, so make sure that you cancel those requests, because that can mess with your algorithm. So I always usually do that every like couple days. Anything else about adding to your network? Tell me more about what? Tanya, tell me more, the algorithm thing. Okay, so I guess Facebook, like your posts, not everyone's going to see your posts. I'm not an expert on the algorithm thing. I'll tell you what I know. Not everybody sees every single post, and like if you post too often, it can also mess with your algorithm, as in like if you post too quick after you do one post, it'll push that one post down, and it just screws up your thing, so how many people are seeing your posts. Another thing about algorithm is make sure you're interacting on people's posts, because if you're like commenting on somebody's post, it's more likely that they're going to see your posts too. Anything more about algorithm? Yeah, I've been trying to learn. You do. Yeah, you compete with your own post. So if you post after like an hour, well, your second post will show up, but your other one will be gone, kind of thing. Well, gone or just pushed way down. So you want to make sure you're spreading them out. I typically post, like, I try to post for sure 3 times a day. I'll try and do one first thing in the morning, and then kind of early afternoon, like 12:01, and then maybe later before bed, because a lot of people are on social media at those times, mostly in the evening too. Or if you're posting one late at night, then like the morning people would see it too. So that's just a way you can help with your algorithms and help people to see your posts. I'll quickly talk about my newbies just had some events now, so they pretty much know what they're all about, but it's just inviting people, and Tanis has team events, or like everyone kind of takes their turn, so you can invite new people each week, new people that you've talked to who might be interested in the products or the business, so you can invite them to those events every week. You can also have your own personal ones as much as you want. When you're doing events, so when you start having a team under you, you can do the events for them, and then I'll save all the verbiage, all the posts in my notes, and I save the pictures. And then, yes, Jael had she did her first one tonight. It was awesome. Good job. So you post, I guess every, I don't know, 90 seconds-ish. I usually do, and they last about half an hour, and then people can comment, and you usually have other team members who help you with your commenting and posting before and after pictures. Doing the event and posting before and after. Yeah. Like our okay, so host to post, there's another, I don't know, maybe you guys know this, but I always do a giveaway with my host to post just because I like to do that. I don't know, it makes me feel better about like asking people to post on their wall or whatever. But I was reading like so if I post on my wall, oh, I'm giving away these products, comment below if you're interested, or if you'd like a chance to win the prize. And then typically you send, if somebody comments, then you would send them a personal message in their inbox saying, oh, thanks for your comment. If you want to be entered, can you please post this on your wall? And then you would typically ask them to post something about a product or whatever. So then you're reaching out to their whole network too. But here's the thing, not everybody, and I've actually noticed this now the more and more that I'm doing host to post, that it's always the same people commenting, because not everybody wants our products, which is fine, right? Like not everybody wants what we have. So another way you can do a host to post, and I've seen it done before, some of you, but is like cash giveaways. So even if you like to post, if you posted that you're doing like $100 cash giveaway, if somebody is interested, then they can comment. Like I feel like you'd get way more comments on the cash giveaway, right? Because you get anyone wants to win cash. And I know that we don't all have just cash to give away all the time. It can be just something you do every now and then or whatever. But so if you did a cash, and then not only that, but you can also like get in their inbox and just message anyone and everyone and say, hey, I'm doing a cash giveaway. I'm doing a cash giveaway this month. All you have to do is post this on your status. At the end of the month, I'll pick a name. Are you interested in entering? And then if they are, they can. If they don't want to, that's fine. But I don't know. Most people are up for winning some cash. Sorry, I'm just going to read this question. I have someone wanting to sign up as a loyal. Does it count? Yeah, I think you have to do a month, right? You can't. No, it's like one order per month. Like they wouldn't be able to do one next week, but they could still put an extra order in. Like if they did their auto ship, Amelia, they had one product for their auto ship, but they wanted another product next week. They could still order it next week, but I don't think it counts as their auto ship. Yes, Robin, you can pool with your team, and that's what I've seen. So like people can do you can get together and each member in your team can put like $20 together and you can have a bigger cash giveaway. Can change date of auto. It will be February. Okay, Tanis, maybe you can you message?
Yeah, I messaged her. She sent me a message. I messaged her back. So.
Okay, so was I wrong? What did I, with what I said?
That's fine.
Just so I can be.
I think she just meant, I don't know why they would be ordering again in a week, but maybe they just
yeah,
the product, but
they could just order it all at once.
Yeah, and yeah. Does that make sense?
That's good. I just want to make sure that I was right.
Yeah, so you can change the auto ship at any time, but it has to be like each month, right?
Right.
So
it has to be
if she wants to do that. So it is a different month because our month ends on Thursday, right? Yeah. So.
But if you ordered something next week, it wouldn't count as the auto ship. It would be an extra order, right?
No, it could be an auto ship because it'll be February. So she could change the date of the order.
Okay, so in this case.
Whatever she wants, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, well, thanks for messaging her then.
Yeah, no problem.
Any other questions about the cash thing? I think I'm going to try that for sure, and we can get together as a team and do that because it doesn't hurt, right? We can just make a bigger pot and then get some more people in there. So that's a good idea. I thought that was a good idea. Okay, what was my next thing to talk about? Oh, yeah. For the host of posts too, getting in people's inbox if they would post, because not everyone's going to comment on things. I was listening to this thing, and it's like they say no, but you move on. They say no, but you move on. Like this is our job, is to share a company, share products with people, share the opportunity, but it's not for everybody, but that's okay. And I always think, like, if we were like messaging somebody and asking, I don't know, if I was a hairdresser and I needed an employee and I just messaged people saying, oh, hey, do you know a hairdresser or whatever? I don't know, that doesn't sound like such a big deal. And I have a hard time too sometimes, but when you're reaching out to other people, you feel bad asking them, about the business or about the products and stuff like that. But I think it's not. I think it's just because network marketing is just new and different and people don't get it. But it's like just the same as if you were looking for an employee at a restaurant. You'd ask, oh, hey, do you know somebody who would want that? Okay, sorry, I digress. Moving on. Stories and polls. This is so awesome. The stories, like the Instagram stories and Facebook stories, I actually had never used them before I started this. I remember asking Tanis, like, how do I do a poll? How do I do a story? I had no idea. But let me tell you, people won't necessarily send you a message if they're interested in something, but so many will vote on my polls. Like, if you use Instagram polls and you post about the products and before and afters, and then at the end, you put a poll up saying, are you interested, or have you ever thought of this? Excuse me, it can be relating to any product. It can be relating to the business or the opportunity. Oh my goodness, like, people vote all the time. It doesn't mean they are 100% interested in it, or like maybe they're interested, but it doesn't mean they're gonna like, oh yeah, sign up right away. But at least that gives you like, okay, this person's interested. It gives you like more potentials to add to your list. And you can start talking to them about it. They can kind of just be on your radar, right? How do you do a poll? So at the top, when you go into your stories, into your Instagram story, for example, and you so you post a picture, and then at the top, the middle icon, it's like a smiley face with the corner folded up. You push on that, and then you can see the word poll, and there's a whole bunch of different things. But you push on the word poll, and then you ask a question, and then you can type in the different answers. So you can type in yes, or I want this, or I need this, or I'm interested, or please message me, or I'd like more info, like whatever options you want. And then, yeah, and then people can vote on it. So when they're scrolling through on your story, they can vote. And so if somebody might vote, they're interested. Or I've done even like, does anyone want samples? And they'll write yes, and then I'll message them about samples. So I feel like people don't necessarily all the time just like directly message me when they're interested in something, but put on the pools. And then yes, that happens to me. People sometimes vote accidentally, but I always follow up with everybody who votes. Even if like I'll get a vote and it's clearly like, okay, this person, I don't know, obviously doesn't want this or may not, but I'll always message them anyway, because you never know. Like I've had somebody vote on the poll and then I message them and they're like, actually, yeah, I'd really like some more information. So you never know. It does happen though. I actually have a couple people who have they voted and I messaged them and they felt so embarrassed, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they did it again and I immediately got a message saying, oops, sorry, you just voted on your poll again. That's kind of funny. Sorry, I'm just gonna read it. There's a few questions here. Because each time I'd follow up with people, they'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I accidentally voted. Yeah, I know people accidentally do it all the time, but you never know. There might be somebody, especially if you're adding to your network all the time, like there's new people all the time that are watching your story. So you never know. I mean, I wouldn't give up on it. Keep it up, because who knows? You might get one or two from it. Yeah, that's true, Karen. Ask any questions on a poll. Actually, I've done that too. I've done polls of something totally not related to the business. It's been related just to my kids or whatever. And yeah, you can just see who's watching, right? Who's watching your stuff. Yeah, it depends where you're putting your whatever, your voting thing. Can be if it's right where they're tapping, then no, accidentally. But that's okay. Then you got in their inbox, and then maybe then they'll start watching like your stuff more. Who knows? You never know. Don't give up on it. It doesn't hurt. You're posting anyway. You're posting about stuff, so you might as well just keep doing the polls. But I do know what you mean, though. It's like, oh, so excited, somebody voted, and you're all pumped to check, and it's like, oh. Oh, Tanis voted on mine. No, just kidding.
I do that. I will do that. But
I know.
You know what?
And I'm like, yes, someone's interested. Oh, it's Tanis.
You can just start chatting with them. That's how you can build a relationship too. Like that's
that's exactly.
You know what I mean? Like Leanne, you guys, Leanne totally she totally ghosted me for years. And then when she was ready to join, she's like on fire now, right? So if you keep putting out what you want back and you are confident and bold, people are going to be attracted to that. So don't say,
funny?
Don't say, oh, people keep chopping it by accident. Oh, people keep saying that. Well, if you keep saying that, right? So put out people want to join me. People want to buy my products. People want, you know what I mean? It's huge, you guys, how your belief is everything in this business. Everything. So sorry, I got a little excited there. But
oh, that's okay. But it's true. Your belief in your mindset. Yeah, they get transferred into your posts. If I go back and read my posts, I can tell when I'm like, oh my God, so into it. I just I'm so excited. And I can tell the posts where I'm just whatever here. I'm just because we all have those days, and it's it's transferred in your energy. I don't know. But Tanis, it's funny how you say that I ghost you, because I get so irritated when people don't reply. I'm like, just say no then. It's not going to hurt my feelings, but just at least reply.
You and your husband still kept watching me. So I knew that, right? So the thing is the more confident you are, you guys, the more consistent you are. Some of you guys don't talk about the business enough. You don't, right? Unless you're messaging and talking to people behind the scenes and doing one-on-ones. You have to do that if you want people to join your team. You have to. You have to ask people. You have to tell people you want them on your team. It's just Leanne and a lot of you have this confidence, and some of you might not be there yet. Some of you are working on that. It's something that comes as a leader, right? You have to really want it.
But trust me, though. But I just want to say, sorry to interrupt you, Tanis, on that, but I just want to say, though, the confidence, it comes, but it's always, for me anyway, I don't know if you guys are like that, but it's up and down. Like, it's hard. This business is hard because not every day you're signing up customers. Not every day you're signing up distributors. Not every day you're even talking to people. Like, you try to, but so some days it's tough, but this is just part of the business. Like, it's on and off, right? And Tanis, you told me that all the time in the beginning, and it's true. So it messes with confidence sometimes, but that brings me into my next point about messaging people. I know, like, when I first started, and I've said this 100 million times, you guys know that I'm like super detailed. So when people would say, okay, well, you need to be message people, well, just message people. And I'm like, message what? Like, what am I saying to these people? Like, exactly what do you message these people? So what I think, and this is what I do, is like, I first, like, when I'm talking to like new people, I'm not messaging people directly about, oh, hey, sign up for my business or whatever, because I personally don't think people like will really appreciate it if they've never talked to you before and then you're telling them they'd be so awesome at this, because I don't know, that's just me. Maybe some people, and I know some people do the whole cold messaging. I think that's what the cold messaging thing is, but I personally prefer to like interact on their posts first, so that they're like, oh, this Leanne girl, okay, I know her, kind of, just whatever, through the post, through the comments, just interacting that way. And then like I can get in their inbox after. This is another thing that has helped me with my confidence a lot, because I never knew how to like message someone and just ask them about the business. Like, that always freaked me out. I never knew really what the proper thing, and I just had this aha, and I'm going to share it with you guys, because I was like, came across this thing, like, want to like directly ask someone, oh, are you interested, or do you want to join? Because I think it puts people on the spot and they have to like give a yes or no answer, and maybe they get kind of like, well, like kind of defensive maybe, or I don't know. Sorry, I'm just going to pull it up here. If you message, and this has given me so much confidence actually in messaging people, because it's not like I'm directly asking them. This is what I've been messaging people, and it's been awesome. I've gotten a few potentials from it, and some people just message nicely. Anyway, I'll read it back to you. Hey, and I always use their first name, more personal. I hope you're having a great week. Just a quick question. I'm looking for 2 or more ladies who'd like to earn an extra $300 to $2,000 per month, working from their phone on their spare time. Do you happen to know anyone who might be interested? If not, it's totally fine. Just figured I couldn't hurt to ask. It couldn't hurt to ask. So that message has made me a lot more confident in messaging people that I maybe normally wouldn't ask, because I feel like it's true. It kind of gives them, a lot of times people will say, oh, I can't really think of anyone, but if I do, I'll send them your way. Like, it's just like a nice response. I don't know. People like appreciate having, I don't know, that you're just not directly putting them on the spot. I don't know about you guys, but that's actually changed the game for me, because I've messaged like way more people than I was before, because I feel a lot better about sending that message. You can change it up to whatever you want. You can just, you don't have to put the amount of that they'll be making per month or whatever. You can change it up. But I feel like asking them if you know somebody, that's been really awesome for me. If any of you want me to like type that up on a chat later, let me know. That's working for me, and totally, like, everyone has their own thing. So if you have something that's working for you, don't switch it up. But that's honestly something that's been amazing for me in the last. My next point I want to talk about is time management. I realize I've noticed with myself lately, I feel like, I don't know, I try to be really intentional when I'm working, but when I'm home with my kids, I kind of, sorry, I was just reading and why do I? Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to be intentional, but I'm trying to like do things in snippets. So like, I'll try and do a little bit before my kids get up, but then when they're up, and then I'll try and like message a little or add friends in between, and like just kind of trying to do it all day long here and there. And I've found that that's like at the end of the day, I'm like, what actually did I get done? What actually did I get done? Because I don't know, I feel like it's hard to keep, I'm not as focused, right? I'm just doing a little bit here and there. And it's true. And I read this too, that like, you're not really working all day, you're just thinking about it all day. I'm literally thinking about it all day. Like, what should I post, or who should I message, or what should I do here and there? And it's like, I don't know, it just doesn't all come together nicely. And that actually gets super exhausting. So, obviously we all know about the power hours, and I feel for me, I've been like writing in my planner when I'm going to do a power hour, when I'm going to, like, if you want to take a bath, schedule in your bath. If you want to schedule in an hour of cleaning, schedule that in. If you want to schedule in whatever, making lunch, eating lunch, I don't know. It doesn't need to be that detailed. But at least if you know that, okay, I did a full power hour this morning. So if I want to clean for an hour, I don't need to think about it works for an hour. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's like I'm always trying to do it at the same time as I'm doing everything else. If I know that I've scheduled in my 3 power hours in a day, I usually, if I'm not working that day, I try and we've been getting up early actually and doing one in the morning, and then I try it when my kids nap, and then do some stuff before bed too. So yeah, your power hours, your focus, you're literally, and by the way, don't like say you're going to do a power hour and then spend 20 minutes just scrolling and maybe liking the occasional post or maybe commenting here and there, but not really. Like, that's not power hour. Like, you need to be sending the messages. You need to be like actively commenting, actively adding people, actively doing all those things that we have written down on our power hours. And then if you like get 1 hour of that done, then like put your phone down and like, yeah, you can like respond to people throughout the day, of course. Excuse me. I still do that, but I know that like the work that I need to do, like sending out those messages. And guys, those are what's the word? Income, shoot. Where's the word I'm looking for?
Income producing activity.
Yes, that's what's gonna, like, that's how you earn income in this business, right? By signing up distributors, signing up loyal customers. So if you're not like actively messaging people or like following up with people or talking to people about it, like, yeah, we post and like that's the easiest thing, right? Just doing our posts. The hard part for me anyway is actually like getting those messages out, and then you get those conversations going. But also that like messaging people, but every message doesn't have to be, I don't know, Tennis has said this lots, like just building the relationship so that when you do ever bring up the business or the products, people aren't like, oh, she just wants to be my friend because she wants me to buy from her. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just, I feel like for me, if somebody would just message me and ask randomly, oh, hey, do you want this? I don't know. You just appreciate having a little bit of a relationship beforehand too. And then when you're growing, not necessarily even if you're asking them, but they'd be more inclined to come to you too, right? If they wanted something. So use a timer if you want, like, and then if you like need to pause to go do something and then come back to it, then you can turn it back on. Like, make sure your power hours, you're just focusing. You need to be intentional with what you're doing. Use your schedules. If you have a busy day or a busy life, like, honestly, use the schedules, because I wasn't. And then I was starting to get like annoyed that my phone, I always had to be on my phone. I always felt like I should be doing something on my phone. Now, if I do my power hours, I don't feel as like, no, it's okay if I put my phone down for a little while, spend some time with my kids. Like, I don't need to be staring at my phone the whole time. It's okay. If you send out your messages in the morning, that's good. Send out those messages. And then you don't need to, like, people can reply to you throughout the day, and you don't need to like reply instantly, right? Like, you know they're replying, but get to it when you get to it then. I feel like if you don't have that kind of structure and discipline, then it could kind of get exhausting, this business, especially if you have big goals, because you do need to kind of do more than 1 power hour per day. I feel like if you really have big goals in this, you do need to be on your phone quite a bit. Yeah, I started getting up, Jackie, in the morning. Me and my husband, he has to like make me get out of bed, because I always am the night before, I'm like, yes, I'm getting up, but then, you know, the alarm clock goes off. I have a hard time with that if I don't absolutely have to get up for something. So I'm not a good morning person for the gym and stuff. But you know what? I get up and we get up and we get stuff done before the kids wake up. And honestly, I think that just has to be what it is for me to kind of grow in this business, because I don't know, I need that time. Let me just look. Are there any other questions? Yes, Nadine, I'll type that up for you in the chat later. Anything else that you guys want me to touch base on? Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, this is also something about the whole kids thing, trying to work around them. It's like, I want to stay home with my kids, that's why I'm doing this. But then it's like your why becomes your why not, because it's so hard to work your business when your kids are awake, right? So that's another whole part of the scheduling that's important. That's a super important piece. Because it can make you be like, oh, I don't have time for this. Like, I don't know, it's just too hard. But then you have to remember your why. You just have to remember that. And if any of you, I'm going to talk about this because it happens, like if any of you have ever gotten a negative message or like some kind of negativity around the business, because let's be real. Why are we scared to message people about the business? Why? Because we're scared of a negative response, right? We're scared that they're going to just, because we've all seen it on social media, and those are the people that you need to delete, by the way, the ones that are negative or that are posting things like that, because it can just mess with your head, and it totally messes with mine sometimes, and I'm getting a lot better at it. But like, people can be super negative about this business, but they just don't know clearly. But yeah, just make sure. Oh man, I lost my train of thought again. Sorry, trying to think of it now, I forget. Okay, when you message people about host a post, what do you do when people just read your message and don't reply back? I just leave it. I don't bug people. If they don't want to post it, that's fine. Like, if they comment and then, because most people, I don't think they expect that. I think they probably just expect that you're going to enter them in the draw. They don't maybe expect that you're going to want them to post something on their wall. I honestly I don't do anything. Do you delete them? I don't delete them because sometimes they actually are my friends. Well, yeah, I feel like my friends wouldn't mind posting something if they knew it was going to help me in my business. I don't know why people are weird about that, because people always like share for giveaways and stuff like that on other things. I keep my messages, but sometimes they post again. Yeah, I never really delete anyone unless they're like super negative about stuff. Like, you don't want negative people on your feed, because yeah, that's why I was scared in the beginning to message people, because I'm scared they're gonna say no or whatever. But like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? They say no, and then you move on. Then you ask someone else, and maybe they'll say no, and then you move on. But you're gonna ask someone, and they're gonna say yeah, or they're gonna want more information. So like, if you don't ask, then it's just, not everyone's just gonna come to you. Yeah, Janelle, and it's true. Some people just want to like keep it social with connecting with their friends and family, and that's totally fine. Not everyone wants to post about businesses. How do you message if they think it's free? If they think if you're doing a host of post, if you think, oh, that's why, yeah, I made that mistake. My first host a post ever, I think I forgot, or I didn't know any better in the beginning, that I got so many people respond, and then once I explained to them that it wasn't free, they totally seemed turned off and like whatever. So that was my mistake. But yeah, make sure in your host a post that you're writing like to get their 40% off discount, or word it in a way where they know that it's not free. Wouldn't that be great if it was free? Jeez. But even if they don't want to buy it, you add that person, right? So if somebody comments on the host a post, obviously they're interested in the product. So even if they don't buy it right away, like, you're still adding them to your network. Now they're seeing all your posts, and then maybe eventually they'll come around and want to buy it. Anything else? Let me make sure I didn't forget anything. Yeah.
And I do find that people, if you are excited and you're consistent and you are really working your business, I find that people do want to help. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So if you do have some of those people that are negative or don't respond, don't worry about them. But I honestly often find if you have a good network and you are really growing those relationships and you are really sharing about the business, and you're going to inspire people if you are talking and showing that you are a business owner. You know, like, if you're not really talking about it, people aren't going to take you seriously. They just won't. That's why your posting, your verbiage, your consistency, your excitement, your why is so important. Otherwise, people just won't take you seriously. And then why should they help you, right? That's
and I think
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think that's what's like the biggest struggle when you're first starting off, is that you're just new and people don't, like, you haven't been doing it long. So people are questioning, and you haven't grown your business yet, and you're just starting off. So it's always like getting through those first couple months is probably the toughest. And then once people see that, oh, she's still doing this after a few months, oh, she's doing well and she's loving it and she's whatever and positive, like, then people are more like, oh, like, I have more people now who are just like, oh, good for you, like, just do what you need to do, and, you know, you're doing your little business and it's awesome, and they're happy to, like, share it and just post for me, because it's like, oh, it's like anyone's little business, right? I think people just don't understand the concept of it, because it's different. It's not like I have my own little store set up here, like, you know, it's different. It's on the network, so people just don't get it, I think. But once
yeah, exactly, and it's knowing your audience, right?
Yeah.
And who your people are. Like, I know who my audience is. I know who I try and inspire and try and connect with, and you have to relate to those people. And so they look at you, so they look at Leanne or Karen or Chrissy or Jackie, and they're like, wow, she's inspiring. She's sharing her story, and I want to know more about her. I want to be a part of this, right? So it's so important. Like, that is what we are network marketing professionals. Like, I know right now I could join another business and be successful. Like, it's honestly about loving your product, your company, doing what you do. I'm not saying I'm doing that. I'm just saying in general, like, I have learned to do what works for me. So when you learn to do what works for you and you're consistent and you're excited and you have that why and you're sharing it daily and you're proud about what you do, people are going to see that confidence and they're going to be like, wow, Leanne, Elizabeth, Stella, they know their shit. Like, I want to be a part of this. But if you're kind of fair weather and you don't really know what you want, and people see that.
Yeah. And Janelle, it's totally true. Like, because it's true, this business, these products aren't for everyone. Like, they totally aren't. But that's why people will still wish you well and say good luck and, like, stuff like that. And I feel like most people do that. I was, like, so terrified for the longest time to, like, message people. And honestly, I've gotten, like, maybe one, not even super negative comment, but just kind of like maybe rude-ish, like, but like most people are super just, hey, do what you're doing, like, good for you, good luck. I'm not into the products, but that's fine. Like, they'll still totally support you. And honestly, that, like, emotional support means just as much to me, for real, because, like, your mind is so important in this business. Like, when my mind is happy and good and confident and people are, like, cheering me on, I'm, like, totally, I don't know, it just pumps me up and makes me just super confident in anything that I do. And I feel like people feel that in your posting. Yeah, so that's about that. And the best host to post message. Thermophyte right now, yeah, like Tanis said, is awesome. Except for I've been hesitant to post too much about it because I know it's just in the States, and like I don't have a huge network in the US for me right now. Oh, she's in the US. Okay. Oh yeah, I knew that. Sorry. My post that I got like all my customers on was the cleanse. That just worked really, really well for me. Even now, a lot of my customers, it's always the cleanse. And I don't know. Oh yeah, I wanted to say that. And I think I've said this before. You guys probably know this too, but like for the newbies in here, use your personal results. Like whatever, maybe you haven't had the chance to get any yet, but man, when I like posted my cleanse results and I posted pictures, and that was like hugely out of my comfort zone, but I posted pictures each morning for the 3 days, like the day before, 1 day and 2 day, and then I took pictures of the scale and everything. Like that was huge. That was like, because people are always skeptical about things. People have tried things before that maybe they didn't like or didn't really work, and then but if people see your personal results, that's kind of that was huge for me too. Laura. Yeah, like this whole network marketing is new to a lot of people. Like I said, I don't know, I think I had something like 700 friends on Facebook before I started this, and Tanis was the one and only person that I seen like this network marketing for. So people are just curious and they'll watch for a while, and then once they see, that's why it's so important to be consistent, because when people see that you didn't give up or you didn't quit after a month, or it obviously didn't work for her, you know, if they see that you're going to continue and you're keeping doing it and like you're still excited and it's working for you, then that's when people, I don't know, I think that's why it's important too to be super vulnerable on social media.
Yes.
Be like, man, I just paid whatever $2,000 in debt, or I just paid a full trip. Like, you don't want to be like braggy or anything, but you just want people to see that, geez, like I'm actually earning an income. This is actually working. This is actually going to help me stay home with my kids. Like I could be home almost full time with my kids. Like what? Like, I don't know. At first people are like, oh yeah, sure. But then if they actually see you're doing it, that's when they get on board. Right? Thanks, Chanel. Good night. I guess, well, that's all I really have to talk about. So we can, unless there's any more questions. Vulnerability, yes, Laura, that's huge. It really is. I feel like too, for all of you on here, like post pictures of you, post stuff about your life. Like don't just like post about the product and the business every single time. Like people, I think, like my husband's friend, I don't know, well, whatever, he's his gym partner, whatever, but he said when he just sees like products like on my stories, he just like keeps going. But then when he sees something about my kids or my husband and stuff like that, that's what he wants to look at. So that's why it's important to mix it up. If people just think you're gonna post product, they're just gonna keep flipping because they may not be interested, right? It's the same thing maybe for them. So make sure you're like, post pictures of you, of your family, of you, I don't know, just your life. Like it's not just like a store, like it's a story, right? People are following your story. So that's super important, I think. And like, of course, every day is going to be different. Like right now I'm posting products because of like at the end of the month trying to just get volume and stuff, but that's okay. Like you can switch it up all the time. Use your polls. I'm telling you, keep using them. And if people are posting by accident and stuff, but if you're adding to your network the right way, you're having new people all the time. So you never know who's gonna like it, right? Or like comment on it.
And you know what? Like I have had people join my team or become customers who I never, ever, ever would have thought. So don't say like, just think to yourself that everybody wants the products, you know, that everybody needs this. And when you put that out there, you're going to have people join you because you believe it. If you're worried like, oh, that person's not going to be interested, you have no idea what's going on behind the scenes in their life. Maybe they hate their job. Maybe they want to leave their spouse. Maybe they need the income. Maybe they've been dying to try this wrap, but they're scared to ask anyone about it. Like, you have to ask people. If I didn't ask some of the people, some of them wouldn't have, you know, if I didn't keep talking to some of these girls, you know, they wouldn't have been able to leave their jobs or become top earners or, you know, get out of the situation that they're in. So think of it that you're helping people. Like, you have to ask people and talk about it and put it out there, you know, because you're helping people, you know. So sure, not everybody's going to join. Sure, not everybody's going to join your team or buy products, but you can't think about it that way, right? Because then it's all the mind thing, mental block.
It is the mind. It's hard. It is hard. And everybody goes through it. Like, you're not going to get, well, maybe you are, and that's really, really awesome. But like, I think most people will either think about it or not right now, or like maybe say no. Like, you don't get a yes a lot, right? And it's hard to kind of work around that. But I don't know, figure something out that like lifts you up and pumps you up about it, because you know, some days are like that when you're like, oh, nobody wants this, or somebody said something negative. But like, figure out, talk to your team, or like figure out what you can do to help keep your spirits up, because it is your mind. Your mind is huge in this. You got to just keep your confidence up. Did anyone watch? Who posted in one of the team chats? There's so many, but Denise did a live, or was it a live today? Your mindset, and like how if you're doing everything that you need to do and your business isn't growing, then it's like something more. And like what she does, like she does this thing where you like figure out if you're holding guilt or resentment or whatever it is towards something. Could be anything, could be towards your mom, it could be towards anything that's ever happened to your life. Like, and then she gets everyone to like write a letter to it, to that feeling, to that thing, and like kind of like forgive it or release it or whatever, because you know she's all into psychology too. But she said like that's just been huge for people. And it's so weird to wrap your mind around, right? Like, to think that, is there something in my life that's like stopping me from, like, it's so hard to imagine. I don't know. But like, it's true. Your mind has to be just 100%, like, not 100%, but just to keep you positive and uplifted and confident when you talk to people. I remember messaging Tanis my first voice message. I had no idea how to do it, so don't feel bad. Anyway, yes, let's get off. And thank you so much to everybody for coming. And message me anytime if you have any questions, whatever. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys. I'm doing a quick one right now. If you guys do want to get on it, it'll be like 20, 30 minutes if you want. Okay, bye.
Thanks.